Hey, Unpaid Lunch listeners, you can find us on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and ad-free as a Prime member on Amazon Music. Find us on social medias and YouTube at Unpaid Lunch. On your break today, it's super late. Me and Rhino are back making content in the studio. Talk about exit interviews and the grass not really being greener on the other side. All right, time to clock out for lunch. You ready?
Bang. Yeah.
Let's go for it.
I was born fucking ready.
Born fucking ready. Welcome into Unpaid Lunch, and thanks for spending your break with us. I'm Heavy D, Rhino, back in studio.
You better leave the born fucking ready part on it. You just come in on that piece.
I will. I'm not even going to swap it around. I'm just going to, it's literally just going to
Born
be
ready.
Born ready. I said, you ready to go? And he was like, I'm born ready.
Like we ain't done this shit in 3 months.
This dude forgot how to podcast.
No, which is problem is we learned how to laugh.
Yeah,
learn
that
how to laugh
sucks.
hard.
It's just life, y'all. Look, man, everybody's just doing shit, and everybody knows how it is. And we get approached all the time about doing a new episode, and we got the content, or the ideas for the content
for days. Like literally, we send messages like 3 or 4 times a day. It's like, oh, this is hot. Let's do this.
And it's funny if you guys knew how much we plan to record, and we just fucking don't do it. It's like let's do it this Monday. We're gonna record this Monday.
See, if you just said, hey, I've got Captain Morgan down here. Probably get me down here quicker. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I was gonna say the only people in studio. Usually there's like 7 people here, but it's just me and Rhino. My kids are in bed. They had a bonfire, James bonfire.
James bonfire.
They had a bonfire tonight and went to the pool and froze to death. And
Actually, I don't know if this person listens, and I apologize for using your name out loud, but there's a kid in our Little League system whose dad's name is James Bond.
No, it's
I
not.
swear to God. It's awesome.
Is he British?
I don't think so.
That'd be super cool if he was British.
Actually, I've never met the man. Couldn't tell you.
Does the kid tell you that?
Being out of the heart of the Appalachian Mountains, no, I doubt this guy's English.
This is the redneck James Bond.
Could be a redneck James Bond. I don't know what that entails or what that would be like, but
I'm pretty interested in his vehicles.
speaking
It's
of
just
Little
Mad
League,
Max.
I'm going to go on a little tirade here real quick.
You on a tirade about Little League? I'm
God.
sure no.
So listen, we've had a
Where's
whole
the
episode.
referees?
We've had whole episodes about umpires, and that's where we're heading,
The
ladies
stripes, baby.
and gentlemen. I've been umpiring,
My son's in the bed. He's
been
up.
trying to help everybody out. It's not your son, who has done a phenomenal job umpiring this year. I, for lack of better words, got ejected.
Oh, cool.
I've never done that. Never been ejected. I have said some heinous things to some people in stripes.
Oh, God.
Heinous.
Is this what you told me? I think
Heinous stuff to people in stripes. I have said things about their mothers, fathers, like whatever you want to think. I've said it bad. I don't know if Sam still listens to this episode, but Lord, when I said to Sam Collier one night, Sam, I'm calling you out. It was brutal, and the dude still didn't toss me. Okay.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't toss you.
All right. Setting the stage. We have an umpire who is probably 8,000 years old. Came across on the yard.
At least, man.
When the ball comes across the plate, I don't know how he calls the ball a strike because his head's looking out his right ear hole because he's scared to death. But whatever. I mean, I appreciate the man. I really do. This is going to sound bad, but like I have done everything in my power to make this man's life not miserable this year.
He calls balls and strikes like before they get to the plate.
He quit at one point this year because of some things that happened on the field behind the backstop. And I like to think I was the one that kind of engaged for him to come back, reached out to him, apologized for everybody, whatever. And I think this is where I got myself in trouble. I think I weaponized him. Told him, I said, listen, people are giving you shit, dude, toss them. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I primed that trigger. I mean, obviously I'm going to be a little bit irate because it was my own kid, and everybody always is when it is your own child. One umpire behind home plate, no umpire in the field. Asher walks, thinks he's Superman. Instead of just going to first and sitting there like a good little boy like he should, he rounds first and just takes off like freaking Sandlot.
No, nigga didn't get no sign.
No, he
He
just
didn't
took
get no
off.
sign.
So they've thrown it back to now. If they're throwing from home plate all the way to second, he probably makes it.
Sure.
It goes to the pitcher. Pitcher turns around, makes a quick throw to second. Now here's where things get messy. Naturally, I mean, Little League, wherever you want to be, if the play beats the runner, they're probably going to call you out. Play beat him by a solid step and a half. He slides, foot hits the bag. We got those breakaway bags. It almost dislodges the bag. Tag catches him in the throat. He's under the tag. Umpire calls him out. I'm coaching third base. The two coaches behind me are like, oh my God. Before I could even say anything, I was
The
like,
other team's coaches.
The other team's coaches. And I like in unison with him, I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Just run back in, Asher. Go back in. Asher's crying because he's a crybaby and he doesn't like to get out.
God.
So he runs back, and I'm just sitting there just laughing. I'm like, my Lord. And the umpire, I can see him making eye contact with me. He's pissed at this point. So after the inning's over, I'm walking from third base back around towards the first base dugout. So naturally, I have to walk past this guy. I should have probably went around second base around that way. I didn't get myself in trouble. I didn't say a word. I was like, whatever. We're a one-man crew. I made it a point this year not to give that.
Was
man
your body talking, though, when you walked by him?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I had the Freddie Johnson walk down at that point. I get the home plate. He says, hey, coach, come here. I'm like, yeah. He said, I don't think he ever got there. I don't think his foot got to the bag. I said, well, insert umpire's name. He nearly dislodged the bag with his foot. Almost dislodged the bag. So I know he got there. Well, why didn't you have to fix the bag then? Because it's a breakaway bag. I was like, well, the key word in that sentence is almost. It almost dislodged the bag. Therefore, I did not have to fix that bag.
Yeah.
That's just common sense. Well, at that point, I start walking like, he's like, he didn't get there, coach.
What? And he's the one arguing.
He instigated the conversation, and by him saying, I don't think he got there, I think he's asking my opinion on the call. So I go back, and I'm literally patting him on the back in the most calm tone in the world. I've got like 60 witnesses. Calmest tone I've ever had in my life. I'm like, listen, I'm not going to fight with you. We've made it a point to have a good year together. You know, and I've umpired games with you this year. We've talked about calls, right, wrong. I said, never going to lie to you. I'm going to shoot you straight. That one was bad. And I try and walked away. The coach that was coaching on the opposite team, he calls me that coach's name. So let's say that coach's name is Bob. He said, Bob, you're out of here. And it took me a second. I'm like, well, did Bob say something down the third baseline behind me and they've got ejected for something? I don't know what's going on. He's pointing at me. I'm like, me? He's like, yeah, you, Bob. Bob, you're gone.
He don't even know your name.
I was like, my name's not Bob. You're out here, Bob. I was like, okay, my name's Ryan, but thank you.
But I'll go.
So I leave. I give my
Go to the edge
phone
of the
off because
fence.
I'm using Game Changer to keep score, so I have to give it to somebody else. I go all the way down to the picnic table outside right field.
Yeah.
At this point, he's pouting and basically saying that I need to go off the hill. I've been ejected. I'm supposed to leave.
No, he don't know the rules. You go to the picnic tables, baby.
I am literally the only member of the board of directors for the league up there at that point. I'm like, I will leave. I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
But he's going to lock down the press box, count down the concession stand. He's going to turn all the lights off, and he's going to be the last person that leaves this fucking hill.
Yeah. They have to do everything.
So they went up and told him that, and he shut up. So, whatever. So, in our Little League, I don't know if it's Little League rules or what. I've not looked at this part. But I had to carry a suspension for a game after that. Mm-hmm. So, I had to spend a whole another game in right field at the picnic table just hanging out. But today, for the first time, that happened 2 weeks ago. He stood right up underneath my back hip and he said, hey, coach, you not going to talk to me the rest of this year? I was like, what do you want me to say? Like, I'm in a good mood right now. I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to fight with you, coach. You know why I tossed you? You know why I had to do it? It was because you showed me up in front of everybody. I said, you asked me my opinion and I told you my opinion that it was bad. I didn't cuss at you. I didn't yell at you. I didn't raise my voice. I said, you cannot say that I raised my voice in front of everybody. I said, there's a video that I can show you. He said, I'll believe there is. He said, I had a talk with your wife about it, which brings up another funny point. So while I'm sitting at the picnic table in right field, He goes over to the concession stand and starts telling another parent that I cussed him till a fly wouldn't land on him, called him everything under the sun.
He said that. You said that to him?
Yeah. Right in front of my wife. And he did not know that she was my said wife. And
she knew better.
She went mad hen on him. She screamed at him.
I'm very
ripped
sure.
him apart.
I'm very sure I'd rather make you mad than her.
And then he had Jordy escort him to the parking lot.
What? I don't like what?
Yeah. Jordy, who's the size of my right thigh.
Yeah.
Because what was I going to do? Kill an old man in the parking lot?
What were you going to do anyway?
I mean, I could have got away with it. He didn't know my name.
Does he think
he's like, Bob?
He has no idea who you are, Bob.
Punched me. Bob punched me.
Does he think you want to fight him?
I don't know, man.
Do you want to fight him?
No. I mean, he pissed me off. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm trying to carry some Kanye. I'm trying to carry some Drake beef here.
Looks
I'm
like we
trying
got a
to bring
game
some
Monday, and
Drake
I'm
beef.
not going to talk to him. I'm going to throw him game balls, and if he tries to ask me any questions about it, listen, I know this story.
That don't
if
fucking.
you ask me something, you're going to throw me out.
That feels like entrapment.
It was entrapment.
Do you think that was the right or wrong call? You say wrong call, he was like, you're gone.
Well, he also told everybody, he said that in umpiring school.
Shut up.
Yes, that was the term used. In umpiring school, if someone uses the term you or your in direction to your ability of officiating a game, it is considered a personal attack on your character and is an ejectable offense. I was like, well, let me ask you a question then. If I say you're calling a great game today and I mean it sincerely,
there you go.
am I ejected? Because I use you or your.
I don't get. I
didn't know there was umpire pronouns.
Umpires. You got to call your umpires the right pronouns.
I did not know there was umpire pronouns that could get you ejected.
Oh, man, I'm really surprised he threw you out. I'm really surprised he threw anybody out. And then I'm really surprised he mentioned umpire school.
The umpire
I've
school
never
part
been to
got me.
umpire school.
That part got me good.
Do you know anybody that's been to umpire school?
No, we need to get Jeremy, ask Jeremy, see what he thinks. But
We could ask.
that may be something in existence, but
We get Clay in here and talk about
umpire
it.
school got me ejected. Oh, well, listen, here's the problem: is I don't want Clay and Jordy learning from him, and sadly, he's like trying to. I don't want to use groom in a negative term, but they're being groomed.
I don't think we can say being groomed.
I'm just like, ugh. Especially you can't say. I don't mean it that way, but God.
I think Jordy has a good enough head on his shoulders to avoid some of those things.
Oh, listen, Jordy has his hands full tonight.
Oh, in the softball.
Mm-hmm. Had his hands full. It was in a coach pitch softball game. So shout out Jordy if you listen to this mess. I hope you made it out of there okay.
I hope he don't listen.
I hope he don't either.
Sure he doesn't.
No, but
So we record. When's the last time we recorded? Years ago? Was it years ago?
probably sometime in 2023.
No, it wasn't really. I think it was March though.
It's probably March.
Since then, got some updates. I've had Cluck Truck a couple times.
Yeah.
It's been really good every time I have it.
For those that don't know Cluck Truck, that was the food truck that I demolished on an episode and felt bad about months later. Probably about a year later, wasn't it? It was close.
Yeah, I think it was, and really
I had to do a retractment episode.
maturity. I feel like the growth that we now we can say nice things about them, and
That's because we finally got our chicken.
yeah, honestly, it could have went either way.
I love you. I can still play jokes here.
What's funny about Mike is I think he'd be like, if it was shitty the second time, it's okay. You can do the episode.
Yeah.
It's like, but now it's been good a few times.
It's so funny that it's all intertwined. Like we talked about that in one episode. We had Tyler here for an episode. The reason I found forgiveness in my heart was because of Tyler's show.
Oh,
Which we need to get Tyler back. We need to talk.
we need to get Tyler
This
on.
man's
Though.
popping off right now, dude.
We need to get Tyler on
He
himself.
is popping off right
He
now.
wants to do a call, so we'll do a call and we'll get him on.
He's doing great.
And then Corey Harris is going to come in studio. He wants to be in. I was like, man, you can call because I know you're busy. Like he's always on tour and shit.
So, like, what are we talking about with Corey? Are we talking about his time working as a police officer? His time as a musician?
I think he probably wants to promote his
poaching
music.
animals.
God, can't do it. Oh my
Corey,
God,
I love you. I had to. I'm
Corey,
sorry.
you gotta come on the show now. Defend yourself. So what's funny, what you guys don't know about Unpaid Lunch is the first plan for a podcast that I had is we just got people on the podcast and then casually had conversations about like conflicts or shit they've been into or stuff, wrongdoings. And it was called If the Shoe Fits.
The shoe fits.
And I still kind of want to do that show. And I think I need to learn to fight more before I do that show. But Corey can come on and talk about his music. You can talk about his music and hunting.
Now you're like,
We'll talk about hunting. We'll talk about all that. But he wants to come in studio. Micah wants to come in. We got to have Micah over, though.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And then he can cook for us here.
We'll videotape it. We'll put it on
We'll
YouTube.
videotape it
We'll
and
just
cook
do
it
the
for us.
whole episode from the
He posts shit on Facebook, and I'm like, what are you doing? You make that. It's brunch.
He makes the prettiest dish.
He was like, I'm hungry.
His ramen, and I don't even like
For
ramen
snacks,
like
yeah.
that. Well, I don't know. I've never tried ramen like that, but it looks so good. So we're going to pivot. You ready to pivot?
Yeah, man. I'm ready.
pivot.
I'm ready for this. Are you doing what I think you're doing?
We done our intro shit here. So what we're going to do now, today's focus, I wish it was my focus here, son, is the exit interview.
Okay.
How many people out there actually go through this, what I call a natural phenomenon? I don't understand why in the hell any company, and most all companies do this, want to know your opinion about your time, your experience, while having worked there as your ass is going out the door.
I think it's the funniest thing.
Like, do you expect it to be glowingly positive?
Why would you want to do it? Why would you want to do one of those? No, why would you want to offer one of those? Like, I feel
You're
like
not going to get a true representation.
Well, I think it's a disconnect, right? I think it's literally the disconnect from the top. Like, they think that's what employees want to do, and they don't know any better. You know what I mean?
I think it's a ploy.
Oh, really?
I think it's an HR ploy.
Please explain.
So the reason I think it is an HR ploy is you're able to air any kind of grievances as you're going out the door.
Okay.
So, if you're heading out the door and you throw shade at a specific leader or anything like that, that gives them potential reasoning to go and check that out.
Sure.
But it also gives plausible deniability. They can go and get their story straight with that potential leader.
Okay. Yeah. That's true.
Shore up any kind of
That's
gaps
true.
that doesn't open
That
themselves up
seems
to
super
HR
crooked,
fault in the future.
but sounds right.
I mean, HR's not there for you.
No. So,
Anybody that thinks that HR is there to have your back, HR is there to have the company's back.
funny sidebar. One of my good friends at work, got HR, got an HR job. It was a new opening at work, and she got HR. And she came from CS, where I came from. I've not been in the same department and everything with her, so we kind of talk about work, And she's got her new office and shit, and like she's going through her training and stuff. And I was like, I can't talk to you anymore. Like we can't talk anymore. And she was like, stop that. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, we can't. Like we're not gonna. I'm gonna come by. I'm gonna talk to you. Like I'm gonna come. I'm gonna go by your room. I'll be like, hey. Did you have a good lunch? Was it
HR
good?
is the principal's office.
Yeah, it's the principal's office.
It's the principal's office.
I told her that. She's so mad at me about it. She was like, no, we're friends. You come in here, we talk. I was like, if I come in your office and close the door, I'm taking a box out with me. This is what's going to happen.
No. Cheers.
Well,
I'm all about some rum.
that was water. I took a shot of water.
Yeah, whatever.
Where's Keisha when you need her? There's barely any liquor here.
So, in light of us discussing famed exit interview, we actually have a sample. So bear with me because I'm going to errata the shit out of this as we go through it. So if,
We're going to get AI to do it. We're too stupid to use AI.
yeah, if I start going through, I don't want to self-incriminate this person because this is what I would consider a mailbag.
I did get approval to use it. Right? I asked her if I could use it. She said if you remove the names and the subjects from it, use it. And then like 20 minutes later, she texted me and said, "Fuck it, send it the way it is." And I was like, "Well, I can't send it the way." So
we're going to be careful. We're not going to do a full send.
No full send. No,
listen.
That's good.
Listen.
Just read it.
People make fun of me all the time for saying listen. That's like one of my catchphrases. Crutch words. But like I've said before, I'm not a fan of a 2 weeks notice. I'm not a fan of this shit I'm getting ready to read. I think it's stupid.
Yeah.
But
you should just leave.
All purposes applicable, don't burn any bridges. You never know when you're going to need that income. So with that said, we are going to errata. But like I said, bear with me. I'm going to probably stumble and fumble, but I'm going to make sure we don't say any incriminating bullshit here. Good morning. Due to circumstances with COVID exposure, I assume I won't be able to provide my exit interview as is generally customary. So keep in mind, setting the stage here, this is definitely a year or two ago as we were working through our exodus from COVID. As I prepare to start my last shift on what would be a happy day, I find myself sad, upset, and angry. But that's nothing unusual, as that's how each of my days have started for at least the past 2 years. I would first like to make clear that this statement does not reflect my experience as a beep employee or the people I've worked with.
Could have done it here.
But a direct account of my personal employee experience and representation of the company that I work for. My current job's description, and I'm basically going to give a vague overview here because this is an errata, but they basically handle interactions with customers that are full up Karen.
100%.
But the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
I've started or typed this sentence at least 50 times a day for the past 1.5 years. This is considered an, air quotation, easy job since, air quotation, all you have to do is work with customers over this said contact type. Let me explain, because you got to work with Karens. Let me explain what that actually means for the employee. In my time in the position, some of the names that have been called, and I'm just going to go ahead and say all-encompassing air quotations, because this is going to be a lot. Children, earmuffs.
Sorry
useless,
for cussing.
Idiot, dumb bitch, bitch, slumdog, which I think is funny. Motherfucking asshole.
Yeah.
Dumb cunt.
What?
Useless piece of shit.
What?
and then the creme de la creme. Worthless cocksucking cunt.
Woo.
I mean,
I know her.
that's how you roll. I mean,
Yeah, we've been there, right? On the phone. So,
the threats made against me have been, but not limited to, being held down and assaulted by someone of an ethnic persuasion, which is crazy that someone would even say out loud. Let me stop and put this in perspective for you. The customer wants me to be held down, my legs forced apart, and assaulted. We're not calling it, air quotations, sexual assault. No. Call it what it is, ugly, in the light of day. I don't want to say
You don't want to say the word rape?
Here. Yeah, you can say it.
Okay.
I'm not sure if it gets canceled.
I think you can say it.
I'm going to skip over a little bit here.
It's too much.
It's very incriminating, but basically it's being told have thicker skin. This next paragraph, I would say, or stanza, whatever you want to call it. It's like, for the amount of money you're being paid, deal with the emotional abuse.
Yeah.
But let's continue. Other things that I've heard. I hope your family dies.
Yeah.
I hope you get chained up and starved to death.
Okay.
I hope you get shot up. I'm going to blow your brains out.
Okay.
I want to beat you, then tie you to my car and drag you through the streets.
I've seen that done.
I hope
Those
you and your
furiously.
kids burn to death.
All right.
I will hunt you down and kill you.
Yeah. All that seems accurate.
That's hot. Just saying. That's some good stuff. Good quality.
Yeah, that is better than an exit interview. You asked for it.
Yeah, like I don't. Why does anybody want this?
How do you feel about your time here? Well, buckle up.
This isn't just my experience, but it's every employee's experience. There's at least 30 of us going through this during the shift. You know, X amount of hours per day, X amount of days per week, for the lowest paid rates in this company that we work for.
That's probably true.
The effects on my health have been, but not limited to. This sounds like side effects off of a medication. Not being able to sleep, nightmares when I do, not being able to eat due to nervous or irritated stomach, depression, migraines, hair falling out, panic attacks to the point of being taken to the hospital, injury to my jaw and its tendons for clenching my teeth so hard.
Yeah.
I almost kind of wanted to keep adding stuff onto that.
That sounds accurate. Yeah,
No, I mean, this is all stuff that I've read.
baloney in my ears.
Yeah, baloney in my ears.
Drippage.
Anal seepage. Like, it just sounds
Death.
like a medicine ad.
I died. Stay tuned after the show. Me and Rhino were in studio talking about wrestling, so we decided to just hit record. What we got was almost an hour of wrestling content. And for more wrestling content, check out our other podcast, Show and Color Podcast, on YouTube and on Spotify. Put the link in the comments. Thanks for tuning in.
All of this is happening while employees are told to approach the customer with an appropriate tone, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Cedric.
Like I said, bear with me. I hope that this email inspires change and encourages the company to make the employee decent so that we may continue to function. I'm not 100% it. I think it's talking about the employee experience. I would say I hope that the work environment goes back to the way it was when I first started the job, but that would be a useless statement as that place simply doesn't exist. Hopefully changes in moving forward will move back towards greatness. I wish people have worked with me through the years. Best of luck and love, as I'm a firm believer in quitting the job and not the people. And trust me, I quit the job.
Yeah. And I think that's a good. Do we have an applause? I
don't even want to use the button.
We're using all of it. I feel like that was appropriate response. Asking.
Why would you ask for this? Like, I don't understand.
Could you send us an email letting us know how you feel?
The concept. Like, if you say, all right, you're leaving the company, you're either going to get flamed out.
Well, it's like a narc list, too.
Is it like, well, that's why I said, though.
Yeah.
Listen to me now. Going back to what I said a minute ago, this is, I feel like, an HR propaganda tool.
Yeah.
I really do feel like it is. Because it's setting the person leaving, you're giving the false equivalency of a mic to speak your piece.
Yeah.
Like, this is what went well. I mean, this is, you done pluses and deltas in any place that you went through any type of training. What went well, what could have went better.
How many people that fill it out are honest? Like, because if you want to come back, if you ever want to come back,
you're going to lie.
If you ever think you're going to come back, you're not going to tell the truth.
You're going to lie.
And why would you?
You're going to tell them what you think they want to hear.
It's the same thing as, and we did an episode on this, and it's the same thing as this is like the application stuff. Like if you see your buddy, you know, if you see your buddy walk under the ladder, are you going to rat on him? What do you want me to say? Yes or no? I'm going to say yes. That's what you want me to say.
I'm going to do whatever you need.
What do you need to hear from me right now?
Yeah,
that's what that's an next interview is. Would you ever work here again?
So that's the mindset. Like, kind of like we said, we alluded to a little while ago. Do you want to burn the bridge or do you want to maintain the bridge? Do you want to maintain that return traffic to be able to come back into that place of business? If so, you're not going to tell any type of truth. You're not going to give any type of it's going to be purely anecdotal. Anything you say is going to be anecdotal.
I done one because I gave a notice at my last job and left on good terms, and I could probably go back if I ever needed to. I don't know what sort of terrible life circumstance would happen if I need to go back there. I mean, I guess I'd lose my job. Quit your job. But I remember the exit interview, and you remember who my boss was. Mm-hmm. And I remember her being like, "Are you going to take this serious?" And me being like, "How the fuck can I take this serious?" And she was like, "I know. I'm just going to fill it out for you."
This is what I think it is.
Yeah. And I was like, "Yeah, that sounds good."
All right, can we call her Softball Mom 45 or something like that? Is that who it is?
No.
Oh, it's the other one. Okay.
Smalls.
Oh, Biggie Smalls.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. I love both of them.
Yeah.
Both good people.
I see a zoom through the kitchen, my orange cat flying through the kitchen. My whole family's asleep. We're recording late at night in the middle of the week. There's no school, but everybody's crashed. Did your family sleep when you left?
No.
Just wild as hell.
Pissed in the bed.
Your dog?
Yeah. So my wife was mad.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
About the dog?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was dead.
It's a different dog.
Okay.
Remember, we got 2 dogs. The other dog got ran over and got killed.
I was like, man,
Pet
I
cemetery.
forgot you had 2 dogs, but I was like, are we
My
not
dog's name is not Church.
I was like, are we not going to talk about it? What's going on?
No, that was tragic.
Oh, I'm sorry that I brought it back up.
I told y'all, you don't understand the perfect storm of shit that's literally hit both of us over the last couple months. It's been rough.
Well, I didn't talk to you for like a week, and then when I sent you the message, it was like, "What's going on?" And you said all the shit, and you were like, "Oh, and my dog died," and I was like, "What the fuck, man?"
Yeah, literally while you was messaging me, I was digging a hole.
Yeah, you were like, "Oh,
Yeah.
and I'm burying my dog." Like, it's fine. Tears are rolling down my face. Everything's falling apart. My house is on fire. It's okay.
Yeah.
But now we're here. Look at us. And kind of exit interview I wanted to talk about with that is we're seeing like this string of call centers opening in the area, and people are leaving and going places.
Like call center hopping.
Yeah. And it always reminds me that the grass is not greener when you think it is. You know what I mean? Like a lot of places, okay. So
you're going from point A to point B, but not much is changing.
In my case, it ended up beneficial for me because I ended up in IT, right? But when you're going from call center to call center, and I've done that too, or not even call center, like grocery stores, gas stations, anything.
Well, the equivalency for all of us that when we left GameStop, if you go back and look at most of the store managers that I was partners with in the district, they all went to mobile phone sales.
Really? Oh, because it's very relatable.
It's a very relatable field.
Very
so a lot
relatable.
of them went to AT&T, T-Mobile, US
Larry did
Cellular. See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Most of us did. Because
same
it's still
format for sure.
It's still the same format. It's service sales on the floor, attachment on the fly. Attach.
Hate
Oh,
your
you want to buy a
job,
phone?
ready to
Okay.
go.
Well, do you want this insurance? Do you want this OtterBox? Boom, 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 boom. You're trying to get as much UPT, units per transaction, that you can on every single thing. So naturally, these phone sales
That's why I
companies,
appreciate you.
These phone sales companies are looking at GameStop managers and GameStop employees and saying, we don't even trade these people. They're already trained. They've been trained for years.
Yeah. Don't have to do nothing with them.
When naturally everything went digital, which, I mean, like you said, grass is not always greener. Like looking back, and I have such fond memories of GameStop, and I go back in these GameStops now, and they are just a freaking relic of the past, man.
Oh, dude.
It's just not the same thing, man. Like, I know probably most of our listener base has probably got an affinity for video games and things like that. I mean, if we're telling you to quit your job, you're probably at home stone playing Destiny 2 or some
probably
shit.
stone playing Destiny, yeah.
So, I mean, let's be real. We're probably hitting that, demographic, so to speak. But, like, you go into these stores now, and most of y'all know exactly what we're talking about. It's a desolate wasteland. And by that, I mean it's just Fallout Pops.
Dude, it's Fallout Pops and discount toys. And, like, so I go in there and try to make money off discount.
T-shirts.
And I feel abused by the worker. because he's just fucking like, I'm the only person he's seen all day.
Yeah.
And he's like,
So he's like a
tracking me
sad puppy
down. Yeah.
that's been dropped off on top of a mountain with no food. And they're just like, love me, give me
Did
attention. Let me sell you shit.
Did we record? Oh, I can't remember if I said this on the wrestling podcast, but about GameStop negotiating with me.
No.
So
over price? Oh, no. Me and you had that conversation. They were haggling with you over a price. Right?
And I've never seen it.
That's because it doesn't exist.
Yeah, it shouldn't, right?
No, it does not exist. Like it's not freaking furniture sales.
So,
they're not able to like go in and say, oh, this is the price. This is.
If I said this on Unpaid Lunch, I apologize, but I do not think I talked about it on Unpaid Lunch.
You didn't.
So I was buying, they had discount like wrestling figures, like AEW figures, and there's some exclusive like the Street Fighter AEW figures and some exclusive luchador figures. And I knew that just from forums and stuff that GameStop had been discounting those like drastically, like dropping them to pennies, getting rid of them. Well, I went in and
It's dead merchandise.
yeah, and he had 4 on the shelf, and 2 of them I didn't have, and the only way I was going to buy the other 2 if I was going to be able to resell them, get them enough price to resell them, because if just make room there so get something else.
Profit.
Yeah, and
Like I didn't.
I got the yeah, I got the first one, and like I got the first one. I was like, "Can you check the price on this?" And he told me how much it was, and I was like, that's okay. I'll get that one. I was like, I'm gonna get that one, but if the other ones are the full price, I'm just gonna wait on those. If they're like it was like 15, I want them for 7, and because that's how much that one was. And he was like, I could probably do like 8 on them if you want them now. And I was like
it's the flea market.
Like I fucking I looked around. There's nobody else in the store. I looked around and was like, "What do you mean?" And he was like, "I could just price them down to 8." And I was like, "All right." It's like,
bet.
I was like, "What about this one?" And I picked up a totally different figure from a whole different line. It's 7. It's not even the same line. It's not even a main line.
Probably supposed to be still full price.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yeah, I could probably do 10 on that." And I was like, all right, man, this is fucking awesome.
Well, the problem is, and this could have changed drastically from
I bought all of that shit.
But everything that is action figure, loot, t-shirts, et cetera, it's almost like a 55% profit margin on these
Oh,
things.
sure.
Like if it's $10, they pay $4.50.
Well, and it empties the peg on something that's not selling.
And everything they have is point of sale anyway. So when you sell something, it zeroes it out in the system. It's something they ain't got to worry about in the inventory anymore. Especially when inventory's coming up, they want to free that shit out.
All that shit is just nothing. All that stuff.
The worst thing ever in the world was the drop ships that came during the holiday season.
Oh, yeah.
Like when they bring in a drop ship, freaking
and you can't get rid of that
cardboard cutout that's got 65 freaking afterglow controllers on it. Those things were a freaking nightmare. Because A, they didn't sell. B, they were the highest theft area in the entire store.
Yeah.
They just were. Or if you sold it, 9% they'd be like wired controllers. They come back in 3 days broken.
Yeah.
I don't know why we ever sold that shit.
And they're right in the front of the fucking store. Walk in the door, take one, leave.
Interview there.
Huh?
I didn't get an exit interview there.
Really? And you quit on good terms, didn't you?
On good terms.
Do you think do they not do them?
They may not do it. May not be general practice there. We don't deal with HR.
You left there for your current job.
Yes. That was 7 years ago.
You're something. You're something else.
7. Well, the writing was on the wall.
Yeah, no, I mean it's a good thing that you left.
You go
obviously.
from 500, 600, 700 people at Call of Duty midnight launch to 125. Your job's going away.
Oh yeah,
your job is slowly going away. Open your eyes.
Well, turns out you'd still have it. I wonder what they get paid now.
I don't know, but I know they don't work anymore.
Oh,
literally,
man.
like the hours of operation at GameStop's absurd now.
They're not even real.
No.
They're not even like,
we're open at 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. today. Come by.
They're scheduled from noon to 8.
Yeah.
Right. Noon to 8. So they're only open 8 hours.
Yep.
Okay. So you need 3 employees if you're open 8 hours.
I would say 3 is the top end because, you could make it with 2.
Yeah.
But if someone goes on vacation, you're fucked.
Yeah. I think 3, you could have 4, you could have a part-timer somewhere, you know what I mean, to cover, to split.
So used to you would do like non-key holder positions. I don't think that probably doesn't even exist now.
Especially not if they're only open 8 hours.
No. Everyone has to be a key holder.
And what I was going to say is they're not actually even open 8 hours.
Probably
you go
not.
over there at 2 o'clock and he has a sign up. So let me tell you what the dumbest sign people can put up. The dumbest sign people can put up ever is be back in 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's 45.
Bitch, let me tell you why. I don't know when you fucking left.
No.
That don't make any sense to me. It could have been 4 fucking hours to go. You could be dead. I don't know. I think it was 2 minutes ago.
That's what I think. Time on there.
You know what we need?
Not
those
be back
fucking
in 10 minutes. Be back at 12:57.
old school close signs that had the fucking little clock on it. You know what I'm talking about? That you like spin.
That points and says this is the only
Every
time
pharmacy ever has them. But yeah, there's some people leaving the grass is greener shit. There's some people that are. I heard rumblings that there's a larger call center company that's going to be laying people off. Not either of our companies.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know if I can say any more than that. But because I don't know how real it is, and some of it involves some people I know. So, I'll tell you later what it is. It's like kind of who you work for, but kind of not. Like the people have left your place. A few people have left your place to work for it. But
so what just happened was me writing down the said company on a whiteboard.
Yeah. But if that happens, we'll talk about it.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. And we'll talk about it. And we lost some people to there, so I would say
a lot.
I'd say they'll be coming back.
A lot. Yep.
Yeah. We were talking.
That grass is brown now, and brown like shit. But I mean, it is what it is. I don't blame them. Take off. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. You at the end of the day, listen, guys, gals, everyone, people.
Well, you know what we're about. Don't be miserable.
We've not talked about, and this probably needs to be a whole episode in and of itself. So we're not going to get too deeply into it. But God, inflation is fucking killing all of us,
bro. I was thinking about when I worked at Double Quick in 2006, and I made 2006, 7, and 8. And I made $9.50 an hour, and it was awesome.
You were living comfortably.
It was so much money.
Listen, between me and my wife, if you lump our hourly salaries together, it's probably around $45 an hour. You know, if 10 years ago, if you said you had a family that was one person was making like say $20 an hour, the other one was making 20 to 25, that's healthy income.
And what you guys make is great money. That's great money.
What it was. Yeah. It's not now.
Should be.
It is not now.
No.
That table this is an episode.
Yeah, and we will. Like the cost of working. Right? Because even working, I spend so much money going to fucking work.
It's not cost of living. It's cost of working.
I spend so much money going to work. It's crazy.
Look, that just worked out the name of an episode. Cost of working
God, look
cost
at us.
of living.
Just had to get us back in here, baby. That's all you had to do.
Is what you call brainstorming.
We're going to have Nick Johnson. I've been talking to Nick a lot lately. Yeah. And he's back in the workflow.
The great Montana wonder.
Yeah. Oh, fuck. He's been...
Was it Montana or Iowa? I can't remember. I love
He's been on a tear lately.
Jeopardy is what he's been doing.
He's been on a tear lately. Oh, yeah. Wants us to go play Trios Jeopardy with him.
Shoo.
I feel like he'd be disappointed in us.
Oh yeah,
we played Trios. He would know more than we do, and we'd be like,
100%.
Or is it football or movie related? We can help you. I also think me and you do a lot of good things together, but I don't think trivia would be really good together because we know the same shit.
Yeah,
like we don't know different shit.
Accentuate each other's weaknesses.
It would not be good. It's like history questions. Like was it
bald fat guy and one fat guy with a ponytail?
I can only answer history questions if there was a movie directly related to them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I can tell you what happened.
Got to be some type of movie, video game, TV show driven anecdote.
I can tell you what happened during the Civil War or the Revolutionary War to a specific family. You know, I can tell you the Patriot.
I don't even think that's real though.
No, I know, but in history,
if Mel Gibson directed it, it has to be real.
It's just as real as fucking history books. I ain't seen none of that shit. You know what I mean?
Any movie that has Lucius Malfoy with a sword.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm here for it. And I miss
Glad
Toe.
you know it.
We need Toe back.
Toe is still on that wagon that he doesn't think people want to hear him. Fucking he can get over that shit.
Would.
I hope he ends up coaching football. And he wants me to help him.
We'll see what happens.
And we know that won't get there. So it is 1 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's not 1 a.m. yet. We're rolling through it, and the grass is greener. But
grass is greener until you get an exit interview.
The grass is greener until you get an exit interview. And I like how those rolled so good together, and I'm hoping that I don't ever have to do any more exit interviews ever in my life. But I think I would. But I think at this point in my life, I'm probably too honest to do one.
Yeah.
I feel like when I left the last place, I was not in that mental state.
No, I agree with you. So let's do it right here. We're closing out this episode. Let's do an exit interview here.
All right.
I'm just kidding. I don't want to ask questions because I feel like HR is going to be up my ass.
Have you been satisfied with your time here?
I have been satisfied with my time here, unsatisfied with my time away. We need to figure out how to make it to where we can call each other remote, make this work out. I'm not going to say anything else because I may need this job later. Love you, bye.
Love you, bye. Don't let the door hit you on the way out. This is the point of the show where we would ask everybody else in the studio if they have anything else other than just us. But nobody's here. And we don't have anything else because we're going to go to bed.
Bedtime.
Hey, remember that ain't nobody stopping you quitting your job. But you.
Time for some more Captain Morgan.
The Captain. Show and Color Podcast in studio with Rhino. It's just me and him, Wes and Wayno, and Claybo's here, but he's asleep.
What is the show? Where am I at?
It's the other room. Ryan's here to talk wrestling because we've just recorded Unpaid Lunch, and we're hanging out, feeling all right.
Yeah.
Ready to record some stuff, and he wants to talk about AEW. It's his favorite thing on earth is AEW.
Listen, I mean, I'm all like, y'all do whatever you need to do. If you need to have your Ford and your Chevy of wrestling promotions, you do whatever you need to do. But
let me pause you.
Okay.
The new episode, I just edited, the episode coming out tonight, May 30th.
Okay.
Right. I mention you. I don't mention you specifically.
Oh, shit. Okay.
But we go over AEW Double or Nothing like we predict it. Mm-hmm. And we literally talk about it for like 2 minutes because we don't give a fuck about it.
Yeah,
and I was like, we're over it. I was like, I said specifically that you wouldn't come on the podcast because you didn't want to talk about AEW.
I mean,
and I said, I know, I get it. That was more of a joke, but then I said, I'm starting to come around to it. Like I'm starting to come around to it.
I think competition is amazing. Like, let's be honest. Until AEW came around, WWE was floundering. Was it not?
Oh yeah,
it was putting out very subpar performances. I mean, you had things like New Japan and all these other, what I would consider ad hoc.
They're almost territories.
They're territories. And I'm going to piss off some New Japan loyalists and things like that, and I apologize up front. It's just not something I follow.
Well, it's not for everybody. That's why you don't love AEW.
So I'll be up front, and I'll explain why I don't like AEW. I'm a bitch. I like my wrestling to have plot.
Yeah, I don't think that makes you a bitch.
Like, I like to imagine that the Coen brothers are directing my
We
wrestling.
like soap operas, baby.
I want my male soap opera, right? So I can have a male soap opera, or I can have the Looney Tunes, where they just bash each other over top of the head with sticks of Acme Dynamite for 15 minutes. It looks cool. A lot of explosions. It's like a Michael Bay movie. A lot of shit blowing up and going on. It's a spot fest to me. That's just to me personally. I like the slow burn. Like, all right, cool.
You fucking love the bloodline more than anything.
Oh, God. I was literally getting ready to talk about Sammy. So I'm here for Sammy getting embarrassed, getting freaking clamped down in a gigantic, oversized mousetrap by Johnny Knoxville, and all of a sudden realizing, oh my God, my career is shit. What do? I hitch my wagon to Roman Reigns. And then all of a sudden, we have literally a storyline that's been going on for 2.5 years now.
Yeah. And still kind of like shows
relevant.
up sometimes.
Still relevant.
Like he still slides in the ring and beats up,
he
the
still
bloodline.
pops in, but how much longer does that happen? I'm telling you right now, man's going to make a return. He's going to be throwing that one up in the air by the end of this year.
Oh, I think he'll be back. I think he'll be back at
I'm not talking about Roman.
Oh.
I'm talking about Sammy.
Oh, you think Sammy
I
back
think by
with
the
him?
end of this year,
On the good side
Sammy
of
will be in War Games.
on the good side.
On the good side.
Yeah, I think
On face Roman Reigns.
I think
side.
War Games this year is Bloodline versus Bloodline.
I think so.
Again,
100%.
good versus bad.
100%.
Yeah.
I think.
With Cody and Sammy and
what me and you kind of talked about here in a second, and we'll probably, transition into this. We were talking about SummerSlam, but it's all part of the great grand picture, right? And then this is just me and him drinking, musing over wrestling.
yeah, I feel great.
I feel pretty good right now. So this is just bullshitting. But, all right, let's talk about Survivor Series. So War Games, in my opinion, you're going to have Tama Tonga. You're going to have Solo. You're going to have the other Tonga, because I've drank too much and I can't remember what his name is right now.
Foa.
Whatever, I can't say his name. And then, who's the fourth? It's The Rock.
Yeah, it's The Rock.
It's The Rock.
It's The Rock.
The Rock is the tribal chief.
It's 100% The Rock.
The Rock is the tribal chief. So he's going to be the head of the table, essentially, at this point.
I absolutely agree with you. Can I ask you this?
Yeah.
Do you think Paul Heyman will be with him at that point?
No. I think Paul Heyman will help transition to the other side.
Really? You want me to tell you where I think Paul Heyman's going to be?
What do you think it's going to be? Braun Breaker?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
I think
Braun
Pierce
Breaker is Brock Lesnar.
I think Pierce is going to make an executive decision
I can see it.
and he's going to be like, Paul, you have to manage Braun.
I think, and we'll come back to me bitching about AEW here in just
Remind me to come back to work or shoot. I want to do a work or shoot segment with you.
So let me ask you this. On AEW, who would be the perfect Paul Heyman guy? And then we'll transition back to War Games.
Who'd be the perfect Paul Heyman guy?
Yeah.
Braun Breaker.
On AEW.
Oh, AEW.
It's MJF.
Oh, dude, fuck.
It's MJF.
Oh, my God. That makes me, that gets me off.
So this is
honestly.
the part that I hate. I mean, let's be honest. MJF is AEW's CM Punk, but post CM Punk, right?
Yeah.
He likes to hear himself talk.
100%.
He comes out in a blue jean jacket trying to say ode to Triple H. You can't tell me that wasn't planned to wear the Triple H blue jean jacket.
Dude, he knew.
So here's the thing. Is WWE talking about AEW? Fuck no.
Don't care.
That's when you know you're king. I'm just saying that. Call me a mark.
What's the
That's when you know you're king.
What's the tribal tattoo lifted truck saying that they say all the time is that lines don't concern themselves with the
opinions of sheep.
opinions of sheep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Tribal tattoo lifted truck.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Tiny penis.
Yep. Tiny penis. What was don't tread on me.
Yeah. No step on snack.
Yep. There we got it. But like, I know I'm detracting. I'm kind of bouncing off.
It's not you, it's Captain.
But it's just, it's the captain. But I mean, if you really think about it, it's like every single thing that everyone's like, woo, AEW, it's a jab at WWE, and it's because someone's got their feelings hurt somewhere.
Yeah.
Sorry, AEW fans, fuck off. Anywho, like I said, I've not been on this show. I don't know if this show's ready for me yet. But back to War Games. Who do you see on the other side taking on the Tonga twins, whatever you want to freaking call them?
So who did you say on the bad side?
Rock, Tonga, Solo.
Okay.
Roman.
Usos.
And who's going to be the fourth? Whoa.
I don't think so, though. Because here's what has to happen, though. Jacob is somewhere in the mix. Because he's signed. He's signed.
Because he's signed doesn't mean he's coming.
Yeah, that's okay. So if Jacob doesn't show up, it's Sammy.
It's Sammy.
But
here's the thing. If Jacob shows up, what's going to have a more vital impact to WWE fandom. Another random, apologize, this will sound insensitive, another random Samoan that we don't really know much about, or seeing Sammy come back into the fold as the honorary Uce. The honorary Uce is going to get the bigger pop.
Yeah, I think a lot of stuff depends on it, right? I guess it depends on what Cody's doing. Because, but it would make sense for me if it's Roman and the Usos.
The worst thing they could do
Sammy.
is be Roman and the Usos and throw Cody into it. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
If it was 5 people, you could have Cody.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
That would be so freaking bad.
Of course, we don't know, where that's going to be.
We don't know.
Where Gunther's going to be. He can do whatever he wants.
So I think that's a good transition to SummerSlam. So we're at the point now where King and Queen of the Ring is done. We do know that Gunther is going to get
King
his
General.
And we knew right off the bat, I know, we all know it wasn't going to be Cody, right? If it was going to be Cody, Randy would have won.
Yeah.
So I think that right up front when I was watching, King of the Ring, I said, all right, we're going to tell right now what the plan is for SummerSlam, whether it be Randy or Gunther. So with that happening, now you got Damian Priest, Drew. I don't see Drew coming out of...
Give your Damian take.
My Damian take? I think Damian drops at Clash.
Yeah,
I really do. And here's the sole reason for this. Every time we go to a foreign property, we go into a foreign place, dignitary, whatever you want to call it, they pander to one person.
It's true.
I mean, we went to Saudi Arabia.
It'd be crazy for Drew not to win.
Sammy wasn't even the main act on the card, but he always shows out at Saudi Arabia when he's able to go there. Going to Perth, it was all about Rhea.
Perth was awesome.
I mean, France was just France. The starring actor in France was France.
Hey, listen, that show sucked without them.
I agree 100%. Yeah. And like I said, King and Queen of the Ring, that was like a 6 out of 10 for me. I was not a fan. I know I recently done the review.
It was okay. It wasn't great. That's about how we felt.
The IC match, that was my favorite match on the card, but everything else didn't do much for me.
That's how we felt too.
I don't know, man. It's going into SummerSlam. It all is going to be fully predicated on how is CM Punk's injury.
So I forget about Punk being relevant, like who he's going to face in matches, because I think we're going to find out in Scotland whether Punk is injured or not. And what I mean is,
he will cost Drew the title.
If Drew wins, then that means he's going to...
Punk ain't ready.
See, I disagree.
I'm the other way around.
Really? See, I think they're setting up, but
we've already had Drew Gunther how many times now?
Well, I think Drew Punk is the next match that we're going to see Punk in, but it kind of sucks.
Gunther.
Yeah, it sucks.
I like hearing them say Gunther.
Samantha doing it. I think it sucks. That I think it would suck seeing CM Punk come back in his first match as a title match. I don't
think it needs to be a title match. So that's where I'm going with it.
Yeah.
So let's say we go to Scotland, and then once again, Punk cost him the title, right? You let, at that point, Damian walk out. You get the Damian Gunther build to SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk and Drew has been built now for months. It was basically the card. It was basically the agenda that was built to replace Seth
Punk's
Rollins.
so good that he can just have heat all the time.
Well, there was no one else to replace the Seth Rollins heat going into that head-to-head combat other than Drew. The whole entire Drew T-shirt cost you your WrestleMania moment, all of that. That should be SummerSlam. So me personally, and like you said, it's all predicated on the fact of whether or not he's healthy or not. Let's say he is healthy. I think you have Drew CM Punk at SummerSlam. No title.
Not 2 main event.
Now, if
Not one
CM
main
Punk is not healthy, would not be surprised to see a triple threat.
Oh, yeah.
I think a triple threat happens.
You know, that triple threat at King and Queen, the Sammy and Gable and
Big
Godzilla.
Bronson Reed.
Yeah, Big Bronson Reed.
Yep.
That was a great match.
It was the best match of the card.
Yeah, it was a very good match. So I'll watch a good triple threat. Problem with the triple threat is they usually put somebody in who's going to sit outside the ring most of the time.
Uh-huh.
But I think when triple threats are rushed, they end up in better matches. I know that sounds crazy, but like
I think it needs to be quick.
when there's not
I
much
think if
stalling.
it becomes elongated, it's hard to have three dudes
Yeah.
fighting each other. Like that's why a fatal four way is just simply better than a
Yeah.
triple threat, in my opinion. That's why I don't like triple threat for a title. On that card, like let's say we go into full blown SummerSlam prediction. That'll be our theme here.
And it's it's one night this year.
It's one night.
This year's
year.
one night.
Next year's when it goes to two. Now that is all right,
I think 2026. I think
2026. Yep, you're right. So before we even get into, let's say, SummerSlam, let's have some drunken musings and see if we can try to predict SummerSlam card. Before we get there, like you just said, big statement, big announcement. Are you ready? From Daddy Paul is in 2020. Paul Levesque,
I know.
baby, come on, Paul Triple H Levesque. If we get to 2026 and the world doesn't end by that point, we are getting basically a summer WrestleMania.
a lot of people hate it.
I love it.
Yeah, it's more wrestling.
Why would you not? I think it's been needed for quite some time.
Yeah,
You have one on every 6 months, one big, huge all weekend pay per view.
yeah,
I don't know why people wouldn't be for that.
yeah. It'd be great. I mean,
The big four is not the big four anymore.
yeah.
Let's be honest. It's not the big four anymore.
No,
The big four PLEs.
no, it's just Mania and SummerSlam. I mean,
It's really Mania and Royal Rumble. Royal
Mania and
Rumble has kind
Rumble,
of
yeah.
superseded SummerSlam.
I agree.
Survivor Series is taking the backseat to all of them.
Which is funny because Survivor Series used to be awesome.
Survivor Series was phenomenal in the 90s.
Yeah,
And it's just had a weird crisis of
there's nothing to do with it.
there's not.
It's because
It's a faction war. Anymore they build it out. Before in the past, it was like, hey, let's throw a hodgepodge,
Random
amalgamation of people in together, let
Yeah.
them start wrestling each other. And Dusty Rhodes would have some random fucking ass team. You know, you didn't know what you were working with or working against. Freaking Ted DiBiase, obviously brings
Ted
in,
DiBiase, yeah.
brings in the Undertaker. So a lot has changed, but now it is purely just a way to eradicate a faction war that they
Yeah.
build up between, whatever. Like this
War
past year,
Games
the
feels that
women's
way
one was
too.
weird.
War Games
That's
always
what
feels
I'm
that way too. Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. But War Games is a faction war now. That's all it is. So what you'll probably end up having once you get to War Games is some damage control. It's going to probably be damage control again because it's the only one faction that's got 4 or 5 people. I'm sick of damage control.
I hate them. I'm so
hate
done
'em.
with them. I'm so done with them. And you know what? Individually, I don't hate them.
No.
I don't. I like Kairi Sane. I think she's
Yeah.
a good wrestler. I think
she's
her
phenomenal.
moves are good. I think her finisher is fucking awesome.
Yep.
I think her gimmick is good.
Yep.
Get out of that fucking group. Asuka, Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Incredible wrestler.
Amazing.
Get out of that fucking group.
I think EO's awesome.
Dakota Kai too. Dakota Kai's good.
Yep.
Get out of that fucking group. That group's ruining everybody. And
You
also,
pull Bailey out, Bailey's getting pops of all pops now.
I get really confused because Bailey gets the pops and they don't put her on TV. She's not on the,
She's aware of it though.
yeah,
Like you've seen her kind of come out and be very, very disgruntled with how
Yeah.
her character's proposed.
yeah. She's never there.
She's never there. So let's see. How many matches do you want to say?
I don't know. How many matches are there? I mean, we can't say there's more than 5 a night.
SummerSlam, let's say 6.
6 a night.
Let's
Because
say 6. Well,
they-
right now, like we said before we got sidetracked, 2026 SummerSlam is going to 2 nights.
Oh yeah, fuck. Hold on. We're not predicting 2 nights.
We're not predicting 2 nights.
We're
right now,
predicting
that's
one night.
2026,
5 hours.
which is huge because we're getting basically summer WrestleMania. But right
5
now,
hours, 6 matches, 8 matches.
Yep. So right now we're looking at, let's say 3.5 hours is what you're going to get for SummerSlam.
I think it's gonna be 5.
5 hours?
I think it'd be 4, 4.5, something like that.
it never runs that long.
I think it will this year.
Let's split the gap, say 4. It's usually about 3.5.
Yeah, it's usually about three and a half, 3.25.
So let's say 4. And keep in mind, building up to that, we have Clash at the Castle.
At least 5 matches.
I'm going to throw.
There has to be 6, right? There had to be 6 matches.
Let's say 6 matches. I think 6 matches.
Remember that time your pen didn't work?
Yeah, it's not working, but I know what I'm writing down because I'm drunk. Okay. I'm going to shake up this freaking marker and it ain't going to work.
It is going to work. Look at it.
It works better than nothing. All right. Sweet.
There you go. Chalk.
Sweet. Let's do it. 6 matches. How many title matches do we have here?
You can't have a SummerSlam without Cody, and Cody's going to have the title.
Here's the kicker. Cody's not even that important. And here's the reason why I say that.
Bubby.
SummerSlam's in Cleveland.
Yeah.
Logan's hometown.
So that's why I don't understand why the Paul Cody match wasn't safe for SummerSlam. Like, that seemed like to me, well, because I guess they're going to try to give Knight the title somewhere.
Because Logan is a multimedia superstar.
Yeah. That's his hometown.
Yep.
He's going to be in it for sure.
Yep.
So
let's do your predictions. We'll do my predictions. And how about we do that?
Okay.
We'll say yours and then we'll say mine.
I think SummerSlam, Logan Paul drops the title to LA Knight at SummerSlam.
So Logan Paul versus LA Knight for the U.S. title. Okay. What else we got? I like that matchup. I feel like we've been building towards LA Knight and Logan for a while now.
Rhea's not going to be back.
I don't. That might be where
Rhea's back.
rears her head. I don't think she's back, but I think she shows up.
Yeah.
Kind of like Bex a few years ago whenever she showed up against Bianca and turned heel. I think you could see something like that. I don't see Liv dropping the title prior to. Liv probably wouldn't have much interaction, in my opinion, at Clash of the Castle because of all the stuff that's going on with Becky right now.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes of is her contract valid, is it not valid? Blah, 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 I don't know.
I think Finn Balor Demon is going to be at SummerSlam.
Demon Finn versus who?
What doesn't make sense to me, I guess, is if McIntyre and Priest continues the way it is, then there's no reason for Finn to have that matchup. But I don't know how that's going to work. But I'm always feeling like Finn Damien. Maybe it's not even for a title.
So you feel like at that point we've seen full on Judgment Day implosion? I
think so.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, because then I think you're going to have the shit with that match could have the shit with. See, I just have a hard time.
Heavyweight title implication, or do you think at this point there's an implosion? Finn's cost Damien the title.
That's why I just have a hard time with that because who's the heel in Demon Finn versus Damien?
I think it's Demon Finn.
But has Demon Finn ever been a heel?
I mean, he's too fucking cool to be a heel. But
that's what I'm saying. Like you want him to win. Didn't he win the title as Demon?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He was hurt.
He lost to Edge as Demon, though.
Yeah. Right. But he did lose to Edge as Demon. And Edge being the babyface. No.
You got to remember, Edge split his wig.
Edge was a heel.
Edge was considered the babyface in that match.
Okay. Might work then, because that's kind of where my head
Finn was still Judgment Day, and this was post-Exodus Edge leaving Judgment Day.
I think
they
Logan
both went to their dark place.
Yeah, the dark place, yeah. Going through see, I don't know. There's got to be a women's match, Bayley's title. Because I don't know who Liv's gonna. I don't even know who Liv's gonna lose. I think Bayley's not gonna have the title by SummerSlam. I think Nia's gonna be the champion by SummerSlam.
Well, that's when Nia gets her title chance.
Oh, it's a SummerSlam. So it's Nia. So it's Nia.
So you won't say Nia?
It doesn't make sense for her to choose Bayley, so it's probably Liv.
She's on SmackDown.
Oh, so Bailey.
Nia's on SmackDown.
Yeah.
So it will be Bailey, in my opinion. I agree.
And
so far, that's the only one I agree with you on.
Gunther, it has to be Gunther versus Cody. Right?
Probably Gunther versus Drew.
If Drew's the title, that's what I'm saying, because my 2 and 3 are...
If you have Finn and Damian, likelihood is Damian's dropped the title.
Damian's dropped the title, so Gunther Drew makes sense.
Drew. For the heavyweight title.
Because everybody wants to see that anyway. I know we've seen it, but everybody wants to see it again because it was great.
I mean, been banger after banger.
Banger after banger.
So Nia Bailey for title match.
And tag champs. It's got to be a tag.
Champs?
Awesome Truth's not going to have it by the end. I think Down Under.
A-Town Down Under.
Yeah. Drops it to DIY.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be women's tag. It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
The last match has to be a women's tag. I think it's stupid that Bianca and Jade have the titles anyway.
Well, you know what this is going to culminate to.
Zoe and Shayna.
You think it's versus Zoe and Shayna?
Yeah. Zoe and Shayna with Sonya Deville as a manager.
Okay.
Because she's playing big manager games right now. That's my predictions, and I'm sticking to them.
Believe, that's all, folks. Okay. The only one that I agree with,
Yeah.
I'm going to give you Nia versus Bailey.
Yeah, the easy one.
I'm going to give you Nia Bailey. I'm going to say Gunther versus Damian.
Yeah. I like that. How far off is SummerSlam?
2 months.
Well, do some building by then.
3. You realize you just put a SummerSlam card out without Cody Rhodes. I'm just throwing that out there, right?
Yeah, I know that.
I'm just throwing it out there.
I know that.
Just making sure.
That's why I got lost in Demon Finn.
I'm going to say Cody versus Rock.
That's dirty.
I'm going to say Cody Rock.
God, it's got to happen quick.
I think it's going to happen quick, but I don't think the end game is what we all anticipate. Cody's going to beat The Rock, in my opinion. That's what's going to set us on the downward spiral to War Games.
Yeah.
I think SummerSlam is when you see a return of Roman. I think it's when we finally see Roman.
Yeah, I can see that.
I think that's going to be a catalyst for seeing Roman.
Yeah, I don't have any main event Jey Uso in there.
You ain't got no Uso.
I got no bloodline.
So there's going to be bloodline.
Yeah.
In my opinion, I think that's Clash of the Castle.
I was fantasy booking.
It's fantasy booking. Fine. You're going to get my fantasy booking here in just a second. But I think Cody and Rock starts us on the spiral towards War Games, which is inevitably going to set us down the path towards Rock Roman at Mania. I mean, let's get real. It's going to be Rock Roman at Mania. We know what we're getting. We're going to right there. At some point, we have to start that narrative that gets us from point A to point B. I think that starts at SummerSlam. Okay. Do you want fantasy booking now, or do you want me to save that for 6?
Just save it.
Save it.
I like the anticipation.
We'll save it for 6. I think it's going to be hot.
It's like
the Bianca Jade versus Zoe Shayna. I think that happens at Clash.
Yeah, I could see that happening at Clash.
I don't think we'll get a women's tag title match.
Well, I don't. I think they're going to drop it. Then they'll drop them to them at Clash. I think. I think Zoe will win it. I don't know why. But
there's going to have to be some type of program with Liv. God, that thing did you see that thing just bleed?
Oh yeah,
that chalk marker.
There it was. It came out to you.
Liv. I'm going to come back to that, but Liv's going to have a program.
Yeah, she has to do something. Like I said, it's all stemming on what happens the next 2 months. If Rhea comes back,
I think that's what's we're going to have Rhea.
It could be a custody match for Dom, a ladder match.
I'm going to say Drew. I'm going to say Punk's healthy. Drew versus Punk.
That'd be fucking awesome. You gave me a chub.
Who could we pair Liv off with? Who's even that relevant right now? Because you got Bianca and Jade together and friggin'.
Well, if they drop them, Bianca and Jade are not going to be together if they drop the titles at.
They're not going to be together, but if they're not together, they're going to be facing each other.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. The way those two drop the titles,
that's what everybody wants.
There's a heel turn.
That's what everybody wants. Not even necessarily even a heel turn, just like them a feud.
It's going to be a feud, but naturally one of them's going to have to.
Yeah.
God, look at this thing.
Storm as
what is going on with this?
Storm as a not like dark Jade Cargill.
That would be fucking dope. I mean, it's going to be Jade. I mean,
yeah. Bianca's never had a heel run.
That's why I would kind of like to see. I'd like to see her have the heel run. Who do we feed to Liv? Or because we're going to be feeding someone to Liv.
Well, it's got to be something related to somebody coming back that's big.
I'm just going to put Liv ? I do believe there's a match, but right now I don't know who we're feeding to her. Now, here's our fantasy booking. You ready for this?
Do it.
Whose hometown are we in?
Oh yeah, Paul. I meant to put Paul on my list.
You got Logan and LA Knight.
Oh, okay.
That was your number one. I'm gonna say Logan versus Pat McAfee.
Yeah, you said that the other night. I don't think Pat's gonna wrestle.
I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now.
But somebody's celebrity's got to be there.
I'm calling it right now.
Man, I just don't think he's gonna wrestle.
I'm calling Pat McAfee, and here's the reason why I state this. There was way too much ignition going on between Cole and Logan.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
A lot of cannon fodder there going on.
That's true.
And I think what's going to happen is it's going to come to a blow.
That's
Logan's
true.
going to have words with Cole, and Pat's going to step in the middle of it. I'm calling it. Pat and Logan feud, multimedia superstar versus multimedia superstar at SummerSlam.
I think that would if we were booking, if this was like boxing, that match would promote itself.
Wow, what?
I know.
Then why do you not put it at SummerSlam?
Yeah, you're right.
Why do you not put that at SummerSlam? I'm telling you right now.
Oh, man.
I'm calling it. That's my fantasy booking. Logan.
I don't
versus
think
Pat
it'll be a good
McAfee.
match.
It won't be a good match, but nobody cares.
Logan's good, man.
Do you think that Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight's going to be good? No, but that's the only thing we're talking about right now.
Listen, man. Logan Paul's good.
Oh, he's phenomenal.
He's so
He's
good.
a top 4 talent right now,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
And his
if
figure,
you combine
awesome.
the ability with figure, I know you're probably talking about his action.
I was definitely
figure.
talking about his toy. You're
his
gay.
actual physique.
Yeah, you're gay.
I mean, it is what it is. You got to fit the mode. But Logan, with his physique, his persona, his ability on the mic, his ability in the ring, he's probably a top 4, top 5 talent right now, honestly, in the WWE.
Oh, I definitely think so. That's why he's got a title.
In terms of high flyers, which I would really probably consider him right now.
Yeah, he flies.
Ability-wise, the only person I put ahead of him is Ricochet.
See, the problem is...
The only problem is Ricochet can't talk.
Yeah, God, he's so fucking bad on the mic.
He's so bad on the mic.
It doesn't matter. He's so good.
And everybody just knows that he's Samantha's
He
bitch.
flies, though.
He's Samantha's bitch.
Man, she fucks him hard.
She's Samantha's, or he's, whatever you want to call it. He's the submissive.
Logan still choreographs his matches, though, and you can tell that they're choreographed. Like, the Cody match was like, that was planned.
Well, what gave that away? I mean, everything's planned. I mean, let's be honest, all matches are planned.
No. They're not choreographed, though, is what I'm saying. Like,
when Logan gave that away was the Ray match.
Yeah, I agree.
When he caught Ray,
Yep.
When Ray missed his spot,
Yep.
That's when you could tell, plain as day, A, B, C, D, E,
Yep.
like it's bullet points.
Which is how he reacts, because that's how he makes his videos. You know what I mean? So that's how he works.
I mean, good speakers don't speak in paragraph form; they speak off of bullet points.
Yep.
The man knows his shit. So there's that. But recapping, I think Nia versus Bayley is going to happen. Obviously, Gunther and Nia, that's the only things that we know for certain is going to happen.
It's going to happen, yeah.
You know, Cody's going to have a match. You know, Logan's going to have a match. Now, from that point on, it just depends on how many matches are actually on the card. I wish they would have just said, fuck it, screw it. Who cares about Minnesota in 2 years? Let's just go ahead and do 2 days now.
I would say the book.
build, but
Yeah, I would say that they can't because
they
I would
booked this a year and a half
I
in
would say
advance.
those places are booked on Sunday.
They're booked a year and a half in advance.
Yeah.
But it makes sense for SummerSlam. And for anyone's that's naysayer saying, hey, we don't need another 2-day event. If it's going to be a 2-day event, it needs to be that one because you're not in the heart of NFL season.
Well,
you just got to make sure Taylor ain't there.
I listened to a few. I listened to a few different wrestling content, makers on YouTube and various places, and one of them says all the time that you just remove the hate, like not hating something. Like everybody likes something different. Like AEW is for a lot of people, right? What we talked about was
some people like spot fest.
what we
some
talked
people
about the other
big,
night,
huge, explosive.
and what
moments.
we talked about the other night was if you like matches and you just want matches, AEW is your game.
Yeah.
So because they had 12 matches at Double or Nothing.
Boom, boom, boom.
And WWE's pay-per-view was an hour longer and had 5.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So AEW is going to be for you if you just want to watch wrestling. And probably if you're casual, AEW is your shit because you don't care about storylines.
You don't need the story. You don't need it. You just pick it up and go.
Right. Their storylines are a week long.
It's a battle royale video game.
Their storylines are a week long, and that's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's fine. Like I said, wrestling right now is at its peak and at its prime because there is competition. It is the same as it was in the wars. Regardless if AEW sucks or not, there is the option to do other things which benefits wrestlers. What is Becky going to do? Is Becky going to AEW? Is she going to retire? Is she going to re-sign with WWE?
Listen,
you know what I mean?
If she goes to AEW, that's a hell of a feud with Monet.
I could see her coming in as big time Becky as a heel. Big time Beck would get a pop. 150 people in the building would cheer. Right, the other 12 people are getting hot dogs.
Yeah,
right. They're 162 gate.
Yeah, but it's sold out.
Yeah, sold out 162
with that strategic.
That's the only seats they had up was 162.
I don't know.
Well, that's our predictions.
You have one that you stand by, like you're saying. Line is saying, I'm saying this is going to happen.
No, fuck. I feel pretty good. About, man. I know the Logan Paul thing. I feel pretty good about Logan Paul LA Knight.
See, I'm going to line and stand on my Logan prediction.
Yeah, that's
Logan
funny.
Logan Pat.
So something else that's going to change though. The Wyatt family is going to show up.
That was the other piece that I was going to ask. So at some point,
this could be Alexa Bliss. This could be Liv versus Alexa Bliss.
Not yet.
Or Nikki Cross. It could be somebody.
I just don't.
So
before we even get into that, do you feel like the QR codes and stuff is dragging out now?
Oh, for sure, they're selling it. Right, because they're putting dates on.
I don't think they're selling it now. I think they're to the point now they're overselling it. I think it needs to happen now.
Yeah, no.
Soon.
We talked. That's funny. We talked about this exact thing. We talked about this exact thing yesterday. But what we said though, so I ordered Clay a shirt from Fanatics. It wasn't even on WWE.com. I found it on Fanatics, and it's the he probably won't hear this for a while, so I'll just say it. It's the bird. From what I'm talking, the cave bird, the cave raven or whatever. That's the shirt with static behind it. It's sick, dude. It's an awesome shirt.
I've seen it. It's sharp.
But it comes out the week of Clash the Castle.
Well, I think that's what needs to happen.
That's when the shirts come out that week, dude. That's not a coincidence.
No.
That they don't ship. It said ships June 25th.
Bray was revealed at the back end.
Yeah.
Last year of what I would consider a B tier PLE. It wasn't a big PLE. It was a B tier PLE. Saudi Arabia is to the point now it is big enough to where I don't consider it's no longer considered B tier.
No.
I mean, it is a major profit driver.
Yeah.
So
they like it.
They love it.
I want some more of it.
Now, Clash. I mean, you've got Drew to drive that. But beyond that, and this is the thing that I hate so much about WWE, because it used to be like me and you were talking.
Mm-hmm.
This was at War Games. I don't know if you remember this. We were like, man, that was a hell of a War Games. We didn't get Punk. We got Randy. And I looked down at the clock. And I messaged you. I said, we've got 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And you said, what do you mean? I said, they don't ever end shit early. We've got 8 minutes.
And they'd already ran the fucking...
and the watermark comes up, and I was like, maybe we were wrong. And then the music goes off, and everybody lost their freaking shit.
The wildest fucking...
The random-ass freaking dude screaming, Chicago, Chicago. Whatever. That dude's got a freaking TikTok channel. He's blowing up now. But there was 8 minutes.
They literally done 8 minutes of him standing there.
I think WWE's figured that out.
Yeah.
Because at the end of Saudi Arabia, I looked at my wife and said, we got 8 minutes. Same thing as it. We got 8 minutes. And all of a sudden, the camera kind of twitches. I'm like, oh, here we go. And it goes to a 8-minute recap of the whole entire PLE.
Yes.
And then watermarks. I was like, you dirty sons of bitches.
You fucking knew.
You figured it out.
So you think they'll do Howdy 8 minutes? I think they're going to do like the rocking chair.
I think it's going to be just like Bray.
Yeah.
How they issue it, how they bring it in. But you remember how Bray last year was zoomed in on each of the Firefly.
You think it has something to do with Jay? As far as him bringing the Fireflies in?
That would give him a program.
Mm-hmm.
And right now, he doesn't really have a program.
So those Fireflies are mine.
He needs a program to get him back into the bloodline.
Yep.
To start. I mean, he's too hot right now.
And Howdy
you can't not include him.
Rowan or Howdy. They're saying Rowan is going to be like the front. Like Howdy's not going to be like Howdy's going to be running the show. He's not going to wrestle. Like Bo, whatever.
So Bo Dallas is going to be a puppet master.
Rowan is going to be his pusher because Rowan was part of that original crew.
So, how much?
And Dexter Loomis looks badass. 40 minutes, yeah.
All right, we're 40 minutes because I don't want to go off in another tangent. So we'll start this. We've done our SummerSlam predictions, and now what we're going to end this in. Let's call us a faction finale here.
Uh-huh.
When we have the White Six, you will effectively see the demise of the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
Because it will become a Raw faction. And there's not enough room for both.
Oh, I agree.
So that's just my personal opinion.
Is Final Testament on Raw?
They are on SmackDown, if I believe.
I don't think they're going anywhere either. I think people want them to go anywhere, but I think they're going to put the titles on the Acolytes at some point. They're not the Acolytes, but they're AOP.
Yeah.
The Acolytes of Protection.
AOP's solid. They don't need everything else.
No, I agree. Like, AOP's good with Paul Ellering.
Ellering.
And Karrion Kross is scary by himself. Like, but
listen, the only people watch. The only reason anybody watches Karrion Kross is Scarlett. And if they lie, they're lying. I mean, they say they're not. They're lying.
You right.
That entrance, him coming in, her coming in with her freaking muse, her trance, and obviously him coming in screaming. That's the only thing cool about his shtick.
Yeah, you're right.
To be honest, he sucks.
You're right.
I'm not a Karrion fan.
I'm with you. I want to be. Don't you want to be?
Yeah.
You don't want to be because he's kind of like the Undertaker.
He's trying to fill that void, and now that void's gonna be rendered useless once you get air quotations White Six coming back. But I'm a firm believer that once that comes in, it's going to come in piggybacking off of the demise of the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
So if it happens at Clash, I think Damien's lost the title.
Yeah.
And then you'll start seeing a program where the Judgment Day is systematically imploding from the inside out.
Yeah, I can see it.
While the White Six is coming to fruition. That's just my opinion. That's my hot take. If not, and I think, in all honesty, that is going to. I mean, the Judgment Days have their spat and their feuds and things like that with the main baby faces on Raw. Jey Uso, Sammy, KO when he was there.
Yeah,
Cody.
Yeah,
I think that's going to be replaced with Jay.
Yeah,
like you said, that gives Jay a program until we can get
I can
to and through
see it.
SummerSlam.
I can absolutely see it.
But at that point, right now we don't have Jimmy. Like Jimmy's on a hiatus. So once we get Jimmy,
I think they're holding Jimmy. They're holding Jimmy.
They're holding everything. It's smart. They're building the same way they done everything with Becky and Rhea last year.
Yeah,
they sent Becky down to freaking NXT to literally purposely and intently keep Rhea and Becky apart. That's going to happen at some point, but at some point we're going to have a reunitement of Jimmy and Jay. They're going to get the freaking titles back.
Yep.
But it's going to be face turn.
16 times or some shit.
I will say this, and I keep watching this interview clip of him. And man, you know me, I've always been a heel guy. I know. Been, man. Like Triple H is my god. Like I love Randy. I love Randy right now where he is personally, but I want to see Randy snap somebody's neck at any given second. I never thought I'd miss Roman as much as what I miss him.
Yeah, fucking acknowledge him.
I miss Roman so fucking bad right now, man.
It's because that's what's missing, though.
It's what's missing. I mean,
I got a hot take about Randy. I don't think he's going to do anything in WWE.
No.
I think he's a jobber.
Well, Randy has said that.
Yeah.
Randy has said his full intent was to come back healthy, but when he came back healthy, he wanted to pass the torch.
Yeah. Because everybody was talking about, like, Randy needs to win King of the Ring, and he needs to be in this, and, like, win this, have a title run. Now, I think they might give him, which one does he need to have the Grand Slam?
He needs the
US or some shit. Yeah. I think they might do that. Like, for a split second to get him the Grand Slam.
I don't.
I don't either. I'm trying to be optimistic, like, for Randy, to see him get it.
I think we've already seen what you're going to get out of Randy.
Yeah, I think so too.
And what I'm saying by that, I mean, you're going to get RKO. You're going to have Randy and KO. I think they're perfect together.
Oh, they're fucking awesome
and
together.
I think you may have a tag
and
team.
KO's such a fanboy.
You may have a tag team title reign out of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that.
Maybe that, like you were talking about A-Town Down Under against DIY. Maybe that's A-Town Down Under against KO and Randy.
KO and Randy.
I could see that.
That sells. I watched that.
That would be a big, phenomenal matchup.
Yeah. There's a lot of tag team mouths to feed. New Day. Like, I think that's going to, I think Kofi's last run, I think, is an Xavier Woods heel turn. And it's Kofi versus Xavier because they're best friends. I think they want to wrestle.
Kofi's going to go heel.
Kofi could go heel. That's fine because he needs that too, right?
I think New Day's stale and it needs.
I think Kofi is the most underrated wrestler in WWE because I think he is a legend and still moves like he's not a legend. Like he's in better shape than all the legends. He's Randy's age. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like he moves like he's not.
I think Randy. I think you're going to see a rendition of. I mean, look how popular RK Bro was.
Yeah. I
think you give Randy because right now. KO's just kind of floating in the ether.
I agree.
There's not a title reign for him to push him towards. If there was, you would have gave him the U.S. title over Logan.
You had already done it, yeah.
Logan's got too much heat right now.
Oh, God. Fucking
but
all the heat.
You're going to have the program, obviously, for Liv.
You're going to put a big title on him at some point.
You're going to have to. You know, Liv, Dom, Rhea, that's going to happen. But Rhea has got
ladder match for his custody.
Big now. I keep seeing that and it cracks me up. It's like the little baby Dom from
it's perfect.
The Eddie match. But
perfect.
I honestly think Rhea has surpassed the need for the Judgment Day.
Well, a lot of people think Rhea is going to be the face of the company and not the face of the female part of the company. A lot of people think Rhea is going to be like Cody Rhodes in like 3 or 4 years. Yeah, she's going to be.
Should be.
The star. Yeah, because she's better than everybody else. She's so much better than the women, than all the other women, that they can't find anybody wrestler. You know what I mean? She's that much better.
Work, physical ability. Dude, she's stronger than most of the men.
Yeah.
And like, she has the athleticism that backs it.
We're with it, man. We're all about mommy on this show.
Oh, God. But, I mean, it's going to come to a point where, I'm going to be honest with you, I don't think there's a future for Becky.
No, I don't think so either. I think she knows that.
I think Rhea,
I think Paul knows that.
And Bianca are just too strong.
Yeah. Becky knows it too. Her best days are behind her. Great matches. Great wrestler. Everything's great.
Hot take. I think she sucks on the mic.
Her mic works okay. I do think
all she does is yell in Irish.
The shit. Was that Irish? Was it supposed to be Irish?
I can't do Irish, but it is what
the
it
shit
is.
Where Nia was talking about how she made her. If it wasn't for her, she wouldn't. I was like,
it's not for the broken nose.
I was like, that's probably true. The blood was a good look. It was a good look.
So here's another thing. Actually, this might be smart. I mean, you ain't thinking about this out loud. How close are we to a Charlotte return?
Oh, fuck.
How close are we to a Charlotte return?
Look,
How
got
close?
goosebumps.
Because you want
Once
to talk
I love
about
me some Charlotte.
Listen, she's
And like, woo!
no pun intended. She's the queen.
Nothing like it.
Everyone tries to compare them four. Right?
Hey man,
All
top
the
3
time.
greatest matches in the last 10 years is Rhea Charlotte.
Yeah, but they try to compare them four. Bailey is okay.
Yeah.
She's incredibly average. Becky got made by a broken face.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to talk about the 4 horsewomen, dude, I would have killed to have Sasha Banks back.
Yeah.
Give me Sasha Banks back. Give me Charlotte, because that's where the money was.
She's a shell of herself though. She's not like AEW does not. I mean,
She's a corporate sellout now.
did she win? Did she win the title?
I'm pretty sure. I've seen pictures of her crying, holding it. God knows I don't watch this shit. Quick Google.
It's on the other podcast. Yeah.
I thought she won.
What the fuck? She didn't wrestle. That was her first match in AEW.
Give her a title. First match. First program.
It's Okada. It's okay.
See,
It's WCW.
there's a lot of people on AEW that I would love to see in WWE, but I don't think they can handle the mic work.
Ospreay.
I've watched Ospreay talk, and he looks like he's
He can't get there, baby.
brain dead.
And let me tell you, if Ospreay could do it, he'd already be there.
He'd already be there.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm better than everyone over there. Triple H can suck a dick. And Triple H is like, I'm glad I didn't sign you, you piece of shit.
Yeah. So glad when you get Seth on the fucking mic for like or Gunther.
Listen, that bit where Seth went off is like, I'm the only one uniquely suited to be your shield.
I was there.
Dude, it's like freaking biblical.
I was there.
Biblical. Yeah, you was there for that.
When he was
in
cutting that
person
promo,
for
I was
that.
telling Clay, I was like, Clay,
Mark this.
I said, this is
Write
one of the
it
best.
down.
This is one of the best promos of all time. He was like, I know, right? And I was like, no, it is.
Little did you know that it was literally the linchpin dialogue moment
It was the
for Roman to lose the title.
Because when he said the words "shield, be your shield," everybody fucking went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So like,
And literally, it was written into the finale. It was written into the
Ambrose should have been there.
Fuck Ambrose.
You're not a Moxley fan.
I don't hate Moxley. I just think he's incredibly overrated.
Um,
Same with Danielson.
This was supposed to be a segment we were going to add into an episode, and we talked for 50 minutes about wrestling, so it's going to be a complete episode.
Fuck it. Launch it.
Bonus.
Ad hoc.
All right, y'all try not to be marked too bad today, okay?